Welcome to another video of the gaming kitchen here. So we're gonna take a look at the last video in this whole fiasco, this saga that I'm gonna do, um, because I have no interest anymore in complaining about this thing. Um, but first things first, I'm going to go through uh, an update, if it is an update, help if it is help, I guess. So patch 6 came out late last night or somewhere in between yesterday. I don't know. I was at opening day in Baltimore, in a real ballpark. Um, one of the ballparks I do like or love, and I was busy with that, so I kept this abomination of a created polygon process out of my head for 4 days, and I come back to and I was downloading patch 6 earlier this morning, coming in before starting work, and I was excited. I thought that this was going to be it. They were going to patch everything, they were going to fix everything, and it did nothing. There was no patch for Stadium Creator. There hasn't been a patch for Stadium Creator since 2 weeks ago in March. And if it wasn't for me creating a group, a form, a thread, if you must, in the official show form, we would have never gotten an answer. I'm not doing it because I want a pat on the back. I'm doing it because it shouldn't take me to create stuff in forums or threads or anything to get an answer. But here we are. So this comes from SDS Joe K. It says, "Hey folks, greatly appreciate this thread as well as the feedback it contains. Keeping this conversation in one piece, in one place, definitely makes things easier. While we don't currently have any updates or timelines that I can share, I can tell you that the team is taking a good look at Stadium Creator. We'll share any updates that we can as they become available. As always, we appreciate everyone's patience and support." So that's that. Um, Help is on the way, I guess. And it is now April 1st, the April Fool's Day, as they call it. And if you purchase this game early, March 14th, if you purchase this game March 18th, you have no other way but to feel like a fool today if you are of the Stadium Creator community. Because not only did they release a game that was broken, they released a game that was broken with no solution in sight, no answer in sight at all. And this is where it depends upon your outlook in life, I suppose, if you are the glass half empty or the glass half full type of person. And I feel like in this situation, the time of being positive and giving grace, in my honest opinion, and this is my thought and this is my opinion only, um, is gone. Not only did they release this game with these issues in hand, but there is no end in sight in regards to when this thing's going to be fixed, in regards to an answer. And I can't help but to feel like, as a consumer, as a person who went out and brought a PlayStation 3 for this game a long time ago, because the only other game that you could play online when it was MLB 2K12 was, or 2K13, it was on the Xbox. That was it. Couldn't play nothing else. And I traded in every single thing I had to go get a PlayStation 3 for this game because I loved the graphics. I loved everything about it. That was PlayStation 3. So flash forward, now it's PlayStation 5. And this is a crossroads. This is a crossroads of disappointment. This is a crossroads of low expectations. This is a crossroads of failure. This is a crossroad of just feeling like where to go and what to do in all of this. And yeah, my stuff is already being met with criticism. I'm getting these random losers who come into my page and say, "Would you like wine with the cheese?" and all this type of stuff, and they get blocked and they never get to be heard or seen ever again because that's what they look for is attention. These people don't care. I've seen it on Facebook. I've seen it on all mediums where these people comment underneath your stuff and say, "Oh, the mode great, everything works. What are you complaining about? What are you whining about? Go on with your life, get over it." But there's more to it than that. What we got today was an answer, okay? But what we got today is your vehicle is being worked on in the shop after being in there for 2 weeks. And we're not going to tell you when it's going to get done. We don't know any details. There is no definitive answer. It could be done April by the end of this week, which doesn't matter anyway because most state graders are going to work, so they ain't got nothing to do. Or it could be done in May, or it could be done in June, or it could be done in July. These are the answers that are given to you, the consumer, who went out of your way to support their product by buying their product. And this is how Russell, and this is how SDS, and this is how every single one of them repay you. This is how every single one of them repays me by giving us a broken mode that does not work. And I voiced my frustrations earlier this morning, to which they were met with a lot of, I'm not going to say arguments or debates, but misunderstandings, if you must. Where people will say, well, you got a response back. First, you guys say that they don't care and they don't respond. And then when they do respond, you're mad at how they respond to you. No, it's not about that. It's something deeper. It's the fact that, like, this is a mode that has been neglected since the end of MLB The Show 21. And it was little did we know. But when you look back in hindsight, you can honestly look at the effort that SDS has put into this mode. And you can easily tell that if you compare this mode to Diamond Dynasty, you can honestly tell that Diamond Dynasty has progressed exponentially further than Stadium Creator. And it has been that way because Stadium Creator is deserving of all the attention because that's what brings the content creators in. That's what brings the money in. That's what brings the attention in. And Stadium Creator has been buried so far underneath the dirt and the soil that if any issue happens to it, you get what you get now. No timetable. So what this means is all your content creators who make money off of this or could have a good career off of this or good following off of this, be it on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, whatever, are screwed. Because who's going to sit up there and watch somebody build ballparks in a old title such as MLB The Show 24? Who's going to do it? It's MLB The Show 25. We're actually already into the regular season of the baseball season, and this game is in its beta status right now. That's the problem. The problem is that ever since MLB The Show 21, we have voiced complaints. We have been respectful. We have sent wish lists in, year out, every day, on the hour, every hour. I have done streams upon streams upon streams of this. I have also seen other people do streams upon streams upon streams. I've seen people on Operation Sports, the show, all those forums, all those places, making Google Docs, Word Docs, Microsoft Word Docs, sending them in, year out, all we get is a worser version of what we first initially were wowed by when MLB The Show 21 came out. That's not an opinion. Those are facts. That is empirical data. That is litmus test after litmus test of sitting up here and buying this game and looking to the one mode that actually is pretty good and see zero changes. So at this point, right now, The respect that has been given to this is very consistent because now it is a mode in which is going to be inoperable for quite some time. And you don't know, and I don't know. But the answer is they are looking at it. They are looking at it, but they don't have any update. Now ask yourself this question. If this was Diamond Dynasty, like the way Diamond Dynasty was messed up last year, you would have an answer. You would have an update. You would have something. You would have anything to go on because that's your baby. That's your cash cow. That's where it is. And this isn't. That's what's so frustrating about this because it's not just 1 year of these errors, it's multiple years of the same errors. It's multiple years of fences that, weirdly enough, take away data or give data. It's year after year of asking for batters' eyes to be removed, and they're never removed. It's years and years worth of asking for pitching mounds to be given and moved, and you don't move them and you can't move them. It's been years and years of giving the same generic outfields and trees and designs and limitations that, in all honesty, we don't have the options of controlling anymore. And so we went through this with MLB The Show 22. At least I have, where you had a lot of good creators, and I sound like a beaten drum, but I have to say this again. We had a lot of good creators come through here, and they built great stadiums. We all were trying to find our way. We were trying to figure out stuff, not for ourselves, but for others too, who enjoyed this mode, who wanted to play in Ebbets Field or whatever. And when MLB The Show 22 came out, they had data issues where your stadiums were turned into generic stuff, much like this right here. And I remember not being able to play that mode or that game for weeks and months. So much that I went out, brought new games, did my own stuff, went down different uh, venue. And this is the same thing that's happening again. When last year's worked okay, and to the point, we didn't ask for much. We asked that you please, if you don't care about this mode, SDS, Russell, whoever's in charge of this, all we asked was just don't screw up the mode. We'll take care of the rest. Make sure that the data works. We get good memory. We have all the props we need. We'll make everything work. If you don't want to give us anything, we'll give the most we can with this to whoever likes it. That's what we did. That's what I did. And the response from them was this right here. This 503,000, 503 million 30 333,624 person capacity, and you click on it and you can't click on anything unless it's the new stuff because they can't figure out the memory and all this stuff is screwed. And that's what we got in return. So you can't even port over your stadiums. Even when they were asking a Q&A, can we port over our stuff? And they said, yes, you can. Yes, you can port it over. We don't have the usage of domes. We don't have the usage of moving things around and making this the mode we want to make. And we asked all this stuff and been asking all this stuff for years and years and years without end. To there where we get disrespected, but people who create stuff like this, their mode works. My mode works. I can't even go in and create anything. I can't even create like a generic map without it saving into something else. So that's that. That's what this mode is. That's what this is. It's not just whining. It's not just complaining. It's the inability to make a living off of this. Like we don't have the opportunity to do like what card collectors do in this game, or like what Road to the Show people do in this game. We're screwed. And the only response we get, the only response that's good enough is, hey, stand by. Thank you for your patience. People spent money for this. $99, $105 plus tax just to play an incomplete game. And I just want to say this also while on this topic. This is often debated amongst other people, but it's not debated here. When one mode is broken in a game, The game is broken. It's not functional. It's broken. Because the same negligence that went into ignoring these problems went into other modes problems as well. And that's the case. I have been, in my honest opinion, very patient, very respectful, very quiet, very analytical when it comes to this stuff. And in the past videos, I'll admit that it has been very emotional, very agitating, and downright disrespected, feeling like you've been disrespected as a person because a game company got one over you. And their communication in all of this has been piss poor at best. The fact that a customer has to create a thread to hear back from someone, to hear back from others who are working on a game, when you had a stream the week before to air all this out, and all they did was talk about cards and resurgencies and stuff. It's just unacceptable. And I would argue to say that this should be, unless they come out and do something astronomical with uh, cleaning up this mess this year, that this should be the last year that anybody, I myself included, would buy this game. They have not deserved your money. They have not earned your trust. Because this right here is unacceptable, be it fixed or not. That this is the current state of games. That this thing should have been fixed on day one. And that you should not release a game like this unless it is good on day one. And they failed. So I leave this with it being, yes, the new Madden. SDS is the new EA. And this communication process that they have going on here, where you have to go through all of this just to get a response that honestly is barely a response, just to get some amount of satisfaction for nothing, is a problem. And it has been a red flag for years upon years. But now that red flag is gone. It has been proven that this is a catastrophe. This is a problem. And this is a flawed developer company. And this is a flawed company in general that, in all honesty, needs to get better in regards to communicating with people. And it's shown. So that's that. This is the end of these videos. I have no other reason to make any more because, to be honest with you, there's nothing else to talk about. Everything that we found out, we needed to find out, and we've known. And the unfortunate thing to know here is they have piss poor communication. They release glitched up products and make sure the most important things work while the other things just lay waste. And not every community is created equal in this game sect, much like how in Madden either. And it's heartbreaking to know that. And if you enjoyed this game, fine, so be it. There are certain aspects to enjoy in this game. If you are the type of person who loves to troll and come in and, mock people who have a certain investment in creating stuff and having a certain talent they like to create stuff, just understand one simple thing. If your mode does not have problems today, it will have problems tomorrow. Do not think that you're untouchable. That is all.